Picture this. A god kneels over the body of a slain giant, arms bloodied to the elbow. He's not burying it, he's building with it. The skull becomes the dome of the sky. The blood becomes the sea. The flesh becomes the dirt under your feet. This is Odin, and the giant is Ymir, and this one killing is the foundation stone of the entire Norse universe. So here's the actual question this video answers. How do you get from an empty gap between fire and ice to Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the gods themselves? The honest answer is that the Norse cosmos was built on a murder, guarded by a bound monster, and doomed from the very first day, and the gods knew it the whole time. Picture Ginnungagap first, the yawning gap that existed before anything else. On one side, Muspelheim, a realm of raw fire. On the other, Niflheim, a realm of solid ice. Where the fire's heat met the ice's cold, right in the middle of that gap, the ice began to drip. And picture what formed from those melting drops, not water, but a shape. The first being, a giant named Ymir. As Ymir slept, he sweated, and from that sweat more giants grew directly out of his body. Meanwhile, a second shape formed from the same melting ice, a massive cow, Audhumla, and picture her licking a salty block of ice for warmth, day after day. Where her tongue wore the ice away, a figure slowly emerged, a god, Buri, freed from the ice one lick at a time. Buri's line led to three brothers, Odin, Vili, and Ve. Picture them looking at Ymir, the giant whose body was now spawning an entire race of frost giants, and deciding the world couldn't be built while he was still breathing. So the three brothers killed him. Picture the scale of it, a giant so massive that his blood alone drowned nearly every other giant in a single flood. Picture one frost giant, Bergelmir, scrambling to save his family as that flood of blood rises around them. He builds a boat from a hollowed log just in time, and he and his wife ride the flood out, the only two giants left alive, and every frost giant born after traces back to that one boat. Then picture the actual construction. The brothers hauled Ymir's corpse into the void and got to work. His flesh became the earth, his blood became the ocean and every lake and river. His bones became the mountains, his teeth the rocks and gravel. His skull, lifted up and held in place by four dwarves at the corners, became the dome of the sky itself. His brains, thrown upward, became the clouds. Picture Odin walking along a shoreline afterward and finding two pieces of driftwood washed up on the sand. He and his brothers knelt beside them and gave them breath, blood, and thought. The wood became the first two humans, Ask and Embla. And picture them standing up on that beach for the first time, blinking at a world built from a dead giant's body. The gods settled in Asgard, connected to the other 8 realms by Yggdrasil, an enormous tree whose branches and roots held the entire universe together, a squirrel running its trunk carrying insults between an eagle at the top and a serpent gnawing at the roots below. And picture one more figure walking among them from early on, Loki, blood-sworn brother to Odin, clever, useful, and never quite trusted. Loki had children with a giantess named Angrboda, and picture the gods' reaction when they learned what their children were. Not ordinary offspring. A wolf named Fenrir, growing larger by the day, a serpent named Jormungandr, and a girl, Hel, with the living flesh of a normal person on one side and a rotting corpse on the other. A prophecy warned that these three would one day bring ruin to the gods themselves. So picture what the gods do next, because it mirrors exactly what Odin's own family already did to Ymir. They act first. Jormungandr gets thrown into the ocean, where he grows so massive that he eventually encircles the entire world, biting his own tail. Hel gets cast down into a realm of the dead and given a throne over it. Fenrir, though, keeps growing, too dangerous to throw anywhere, so the gods decide he has to be bound. Picture the dwarves forging a ribbon-thin chain called Gleipnir, made from 6 impossible things: a cat's footsteps, a woman's beard, a mountain's roots, a bear's sinews, a fish's breath, and a bird's spit. Fenrir, suspicious, agrees to be bound only if one god places his hand in his mouth as a guarantee. Only Tyr steps forward. Picture the moment the ribbon holds and Fenrir realizes he's trapped. He bites down and Tyr loses his hand. For a while, this holds the world together. Then picture Baldr, Odin's son, beloved by everyone in Asgard, dying at a gathering meant to celebrate the fact that nothing could harm him, killed by the dart made from the one plant his mother had never asked to make that promise, mistletoe. Loki, picture him, is the one who put that dart into the hands of Baldr's blind brother and guided the throw. That death breaks something permanent. Picture the gods finally binding Loki himself, deep in a cave, with a serpent fixed above his face, dripping venom on him without end, his wife Sigyn catching what she can in a bowl, only stepping away when it fills, letting a few drops through. And picture Loki's whole body shaking each time, an earthquake felt across the world. And picture what all of this was always leading to: Ragnarok. Picture Odin, long before it starts, gathering fallen warriors into Valhalla year after year, training an army for a battle he already knows is coming. Then picture the day itself. Fenrir finally breaks free of Gleipnir. Jormungandr rises from the ocean, flooding the land. Loki breaks his own bonds and sails in at the head of an army of giants. Odin rides out to face Fenrir directly, and the wolf swallows him whole. Thor kills Jormungandr and dies from its venom 9 steps later. Fire giants burn the world tree itself, and the sky splits open above the ashes. Here's the part worth sitting with. Every piece of this world, sky, sea, mountains, humans, was built from a body the gods killed to make room for themselves. Every monster they feared, they threw away or chained instead of finding another path. And the honest turn is that Ragnarok isn't a punishment from outside. It's the same pattern finally coming due. A world built on one killing, held together by one binding, was never going to hold forever. So put it together, and the Norse family tree isn't a story about gods triumphing over chaos. It's a story about gods building a home out of violence and spending the rest of their existence trying to hold the debt off, one chain at a time, knowing exactly which day the bill would finally come.